Finally, a change in the pattern. As I've mentioned before, it's like a spiral, brought back to old memories, reviewing past events, bring in new perceptions, get more out of them. And a lot of that is a lot of understanding, which frees you up, feel more free, adding to your light, and then sure enough, boom, I start waking up, going from really happy to waking up every morning, and the first thing is just a bunch of negativity, negative feelings, negative perceptions that show up in thought forms. And this morning, early morning, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, I was waking up, and all of a sudden it was like somebody was inside me, pushed themselves out. I said, nope, not getting in. You're not going to have to put up with this no more. It's like, whoa. So I didn't have to start my day going through all the anxiety and panic attack and the worst feeling negative thoughts possible. And then I noticed something else. Normally, when I sit up in the morning, it's like the personality starts to settle in. It's kind of like a weighted blanket comes down. Okay, I'm thinking these thought patterns why I do this, and these thought patterns why I do this, then I do this next, and the reason that I do it that way, I explain myself to myself all the time. And today it started to feel like that mantle was coming down, and it's like, no, thank you. I have things to do today, and I have an appointment, one I would normally dread. Thankfully, it was all over the phone, and I did not feel how I would normally feel in such an appointment. I actually ended the appointment feeling really well. So, after all this time of having the pattern and so many times being released from certain perceptions, like, it's been going on for fucking ever. I think it was in my 30s when I started to get, I thought it was like early menopause symptoms because my body would fire up. And it turns out, oh no, it's just burning up the old DNA so new DNA can wake up. Because when we change our thinking patterns, we're making physical changes to our brain, and that physically changes our bodies. They say every 7 years, your allergies will change up. You've got an entirely new body. Well, most people just, their cells replicate the old cells that were there, just a little bit more tired, a little bit more depressed, a little bit more less enthused for living. So that's how aging happens. So I've been at this since my 30s, just making meat. People couldn't keep up with me. They just couldn't tell it. I mean, where I came from, so small town, so small minded, and I was becoming one of those people. Okay, no, you can address me as Crystal Morningstar now. Thank you. That's my name. And no, I'm not going to share your traditional Christian beliefs. No, I'm not going to go and celebrate these holidays with you. Please don't spank my child on the butt. No, she doesn't want a hug. She doesn't want a kiss. Thank you. I mean, I am this total alien to these people and gradually becoming more and more of an alien to the culture that I grew up in, which is good because I could keep up with the younger people. I could always associate with younger people or people who had, the newest, latest outlooks and perceptions in life because I was growing and evolving. But it just seems like it's been forever the same pattern. Back to the old memories with new glasses, pulling stuff out, feeling free. On comes the attack to that light, and then picking myself up and applying, cementing in that new personality. And based on the work, whatever I was striving for all year long, in the fall, I'd get a glimpse of a person that I could become. And you feel so wise and so strong, and inside is just so clear, and there's clarity of the mind. And then you go into the winter, and the subconscious wants to do all the work, and you get into that place of deep rest, which used to just be depression. Oh, great, here we go again, family. That time of year, family gatherings, don't want to be a part of it. Not mine, not yours. Oh, here come the traditions. Nope, sorry, that does not thrill me. Somebody gave my dog a little shirt, says I love Santa Claus. Like, I'm the last person. No, I don't. For me, it's dirty old white man creeping around at the house at night, like, and bad things happen because Santa Claus is really your father, and your father's molested you. Therefore, Santa Claus is nothing but a goddamn fucking child molester. Thank you very much. And I know that's not how everybody experiences it, but there's also the perspective. I know where the traditions come from. These traditions don't have any value for me. So it's no longer traumatizing, and I don't see every Santa Claus as a sexual predator, but it still has no value to me at the end of the day. And I don't want to suddenly put value into traditions that are based on lies. It's like, oh, just go have fun with people. Well, the people aren't just going and having fun with each other. It has to be this tradition, and it has to be this way. My family did it this way, and hey, let's sing these holiday songs. Like, no, thank you, But, God, I just can't wait until the system comes to an end. It was so incredibly cool last summer after coffee was all done at the Oasis Club and everything. These tourists came in, they were young people, and, they were talking about us, and we had asking them about themselves, where they come from. And so it's just like, hey, did you grow up like with any religious tradition and the emotional problems and stuff that come with it? Spiritual abuse is a thing. I hate to tell you. When you go domestic violence, there's physical, mental, emotional, intellectual, sexual, and spiritual abuse. They just don't address it. They don't know what to do with it because, so much of the world believes in these religious books as their guidance, and you can't tell them that, sorry, that's an abusive belief system. That's like a cult. You don't want to be in it. You've been brainwashed. So asking these kids, they're like, no, we weren't really brought up with any belief system, and they weren't raised in the same family. They were just like college classmates. And it was just so refreshing. Like, that's the future. That's the reality. People without this baggage coming out of their childhood, cannot wait for a world based on, when people are liberated and free. That's supposed to be coming. That's supposed to be 3 days of darkness and a flash of light. And yeah, we know. They're always talking about the Armageddon and the Mayan calendar. The year 2000 was supposed to be significant. I just figure we create our own Armageddon. You have an inner Armageddon where you reveal to yourself, the great revelation of who you are. And otherwise, a lot of people create, like at the time, it was Waco, Texas, where this cult basically self-destructed. They brought Armageddon upon themselves. Right now, Israelites, they didn't want a country, but the Christians wanted their fulfillment of Armageddon in the book of Revelation. So they're causing a war at Megiddo, ooh, that way there. they're causing their own Armageddon. And people will do that with a persecution complex. They'll draw that conflict until it escalates to the point where, oh, they have predicted it. It's as they predicted. It's the end of their cult. All done and over with. Armageddon's come. But I'm so glad to see an end to this pattern and what life can feel like. That just feels so liberating. It's like the inner bodies. I'm like trying to think of a way to describe this. Like the inside of the body is just empty. It's like I breathed in a bunch of fresh air, and that's the only thing filling the inside of me completely. It's just one of those breaths of fresh air that you love to inhale. Like, you know? And that's what it feels like inside, especially when it just come up and it's like, poof, nope, none of those negative feelings. We are not playing this game this morning. This girl is not going through that suffering. We have better things to do. And I'm so appreciative of it. After all these years, finally showing some work or some results to the work. Ugh.